I love you. Test your might. Test your might. Yeah. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of New Features for 2021. It's so exciting.
Yeah.
I love reviewing new movies. It's just a nice feel of being like a fresh slate. It's like, this is my opinion, and then all the other critics can say shit, and then I can look like an idiot if I'm wrong. Or if I just have a different opinion, really.
Where in old movies or older movies, people have already said what they're going to say.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. But I still love doing the old movies. It's great.
Oh, I do too. But it's just like I feel like I'll finish the movie and then I'll form an opinion of it, and then I'll look up other people's opinions, and they're just like, "Oh, I love this," and I'm like, "Really? Oh, I did not." and now I'm questioning my abilities at criticisms.
Well, it just means that you have a different opinion, and that's okay.
Or it means I'm not a human being, I'm an alien, and that alien is the Green Traveler from Gorsh.
I am the Faceless Leon. I did see what you did there, and it was nice. Pretty good. And this is a podcast about movies and TV. And I don't know what you're talking about, because they've been on us. They've been on us, and we are real life human beings. And we there's nothing going on here. We both got schnozzles.
They don't call them schnozzles. I think it's nasals.
They don't call them schnozzles?
Nasals.
Is that only on Gorsh?
Yeah. No. What?
Oh fuck, I'm fucking it up already. Well, yeah. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we're talking Mortal Kombat and Chaos Walking.
Yeah.
Chaos Walking came out a few months ago, I believe. It's been stumbling around in the theater atmosphere for a while, and then they just tossed it on renting. You could rent it for like $20. And when we talk Chaos Walking, which we'll save that for last, but when we talk it, let's try to remind ourselves to talk about the $20 price and whether or not that felt like a gigantic ass reaming. So
we will.
Let's first talk Mortal Kombat. It's happened.
Get over here.
Get over
and talk Mortal Kombat.
Fatality.
Finisher. Okay.
Did you ever play Mortal Kombat?
So I think I've mentioned before that my mother used to run a daycare. I always say used to as well. It's not a part of my life anymore. She still runs the daycare. Anyhow, there's these kids that were slightly older than me, and they left a Sega Genesis there for quite some time, and Mortal Kombat was one of the games that they had on there. And I actually had quite a bit of game time playing Mortal Kombat. And was I good at Mortal Kombat? No, I was not. I would say that I was maybe too young to be good at it.
Fair.
But it did pique my interest in fighting games, and I do enjoy a good fighting game. But I also, after I played through the story thing a couple of times, I'm done with it. And I know that that's not why they play fighting games. That's just why I play fighting games. Because they do come up with pretty interesting stories sometimes. Especially the Injustice one. I really enjoyed that.
I did. I've only played the
Justice League movie.
Yeah, I've only played the first one, the first Injustice League, and I really did enjoy that. That was fun.
Yeah. But
I remember playing Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter as a kid, but I never liked fighter games. Those were never my interest at all.
Right.
I'll play them with friends when we're bored and we have nothing else to do. It's like, hey, let's play this, and it's like fun. I think we played with Ronvald the Scald. I know we've played a Mortal Kombat, one of the newer ones. I just don't remember the experience that much.
We've definitely played Soul Calibur, which swords added a dimension to it for me. And in some Mortal Kombat games, you do have a mode that you have a weapon, and
right.
Yeah, I think that one was like Mortal Kombat 4, if I'm not mistaken. I had that one on PlayStation 2, but I got it like much after it came out, and I never got very far because I moved away for school, and I let my brother keep it, and
how
I'm pretty
nice
sure he
of
sold
you.
it.
Oh, how nice of him. There's a lot of sentimentality there.
Oh, it sure was
me.
nice of him to leave this for me.
Right.
I bet I get 50 for it.
The nostalgia for Mortal Kombat on my end mainly just came from the movie. Because
I never saw that old movie.
The old 90s one, really? Oh,
no,
man.
I never seen it.
I don't like it. So, like, I remember watching it as a kid and being like, this is stupid and dumb, but I am enjoying myself. I am smiling. It is, you know, I enjoyed it. It was stupid, right. And I recognized it was stupid, but it was entertaining. But there's a lot of people who, like, actually love it. Like, there's people who are, like...
Oh, I'm sure.
Focused on it. It's a cult classic. I have not watched it since I was a child. Like, I only watched it with my brother and maybe a cousin or something. I can't remember the situation, but like, I just remember thinking it was so silly and enjoying it, but at the same time knowing it was stupid as fuck. and then it had a sequel. I don't think I've ever seen the sequel, but I might be wrong about that.
It had
but
a sequel?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation. And from what I've heard, it's even worse.
Yeah, so that's really what I've heard about these movies. So that's probably why I never watched them, even though sometimes it's really a lot of fun to watch a movie that's based off of something, but you know it's not great. I do enjoy that experience sometimes, so I probably will watch it very happily.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. Yeah, we could definitely return to it someday and maybe do a sequel smash for it because it'd be hilarious. I think the sequel literally starts right where the first movie ends, but they had to like refilm it, and they didn't have anywhere near the same budget. So I think like it's supposed to be the exact same shot, but like the quality of the shot goes like super fucking down from the original to the sequel. And it's like they didn't have the same actors, so I think they had to recast some people. So it's like,
oh my god,
it'd be hilarious to do a sequel smash on that. I think
that would be hilarious, and then we'd have all three of them.
Oh yeah.
So I will say that this movie, I would have to wager just up front that it is a vast improvement from the other movies, because I enjoyed it. It was an enjoyable watch. Yeah, I'm sure there's more to say about it than that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's better than the original because, again, I don't remember it too well. I would feel like it is. In regards to the fan base, I don't know which ones they would prefer. But I did enjoy this new release, Mortal Kombat 2021, as it'll probably be called. Though I did have one issue with, or I have quite a few issues with it, honestly. But one of the main issues is that it's an hour and 50 minutes long. And it is a clunky hour and 50 minutes. Like,
it is pretty clunky, yeah, I'll give you that, for sure.
There were some moments where I'm like, all right, let's cut this. Like, let's move on to the next scene. I don't care about this.
It felt like maybe there was a couple of scenes that would have been cool if they paid off in the end, but they didn't include what the payoff might have been. So that happens in movies all the fucking time.
Right.
But they should have just cut a little bit more. Make it an hour and a half movie. It doesn't have to be...
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be longer than that. I feel like there is definitely a trend right now. It's like, you know what, your movie has to be about 2 hours to be worth it. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm happy that more movies are getting that time, because when we were growing up, it was like every fucking movie was 90 minutes long. If your movie was longer than 90 minutes, nobody was going to come see it.
Though I do have to say, for like when we're doing the threesomes, that is a nice thing when I look at the movies we're doing. And I'll just like, all right, how long are all three of these movies? I'm like, oh, fuck, 2 hours and 20 minutes. All right, that's fine. Oh, fuck, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. Hey, 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'm watching you right now.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
Nice little ray of sunshine.
That is something. Speaking of threesomes, I think that right now we are still open to threesome recommendations for what would be our July episode. I believe that's still open right now.
Yeah, and how might you recommend a threesome?
You go to patreon.com/greenfaceless and you look at the marvelous benefits of becoming a tiered patron of our show might give you, which include a vote in the patron pick episode, which we do once a month, the first week of the month, and yada yada yada. That's how you do it.
Exactly. So if there's a movie out there you're dying to hear our opinion on, or if you just want to torture us and make us sit through some god awful shit, pay us
which
money.
is also super cool. I am totally down for that.
I am too. Yeah, torture us for money.
Yeah.
But should I synopsize Mortal Kombat? Yada yada yada. There's a weird tournament going on, and some dude. Hold on. Let me actually get the names here real fast. There's Lord Raiden, played by Tadanobu Asano, and who is his opponent? Is it Kano? No, it's not Kano. It's oh man, I gotta go through so many names on here. Who's the bad guy?
Who is the bad guy? I'm looking up the bad guy.
We're so good at this.
Good podcasters.
Every time we knock it out of the park. Best.
Yeah, we sure do. I think
There's
it's
evil dude.
Shang Tsung. I think that's who it is.
Played by Chen Han.
100%. Yes.
Okay.
That's who it is.
So Shang Tsung is the evil villainous bad guy. He is one tier of the tournament, I guess. And Lord Raiden's crew is another tier of the tournament, and they are the saviors of Earth or whatever the fuck.
I believe it's Earth Realm and
Earth Realm, okay.
Outer Realm. Out Realm maybe or
Outworld.
It's definitely Realm though.
And of the Earth Realm protectors, there is Louis Tan, who plays Cole Young, who I don't believe is part of the game series. I think Cole Young is a new creation for the movie. You know, fucking tear me apart in the comics. Or in the comments. I don't care, man. Like,
yeah. At least we know that you were listening.
Jessica McNamee plays Sonya Blade. You have Josh Lawson as Kano. And Makad Brooks as Jax. And then there's Liu Kang, also played by Ludi Lin. And I think that's it. I think there's another brother. Kung Lao. Yeah. Who plays Kung Lao?
Max Huang.
I didn't write. That was the one I did not write down. I was like, I knew there was a brother, but I didn't write him down. But they make up the Earth realm. But the main character is Cole Young. We're supposed to care for him. He is a world champion fighter, or whatever. Who's kind of lost it. Yeah, he's kind of lost his way. He's no longer the best warrior he possibly could be. And then Jax, he gets his ass handed to him like immediately and loses his fucking arms like a little bitch.
Dude, all right, listen. Okay, he may be a trained military man, but this guy came at him with ice powers, and all of a sudden tore his fucking he froze his arms and then shattered them. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Sub-Zero is super fucking boss. I love Sub-Zero.
Yes, he is. He's pretty fucking cool. And I gotta tell you, dude, I don't know the lore of these games at all, even though I used to play it. But we totally used to think Sub-Zero was the good guy. For sure. So
I definitely loved playing as him the most.
Yeah, I liked him and playing as Scorpion. So
those are the only two characters I knew from all of this.
I thought he was the bad guy too.
Right,
that's not how it is in this story.
Those are the only two characters I ever remembered were Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Johnny Cage, who is not in this, but there is a reference to him, a hint to him,
maybe an Easter egg.
Yeah, because they said I remembered hearing that the actor who played Sub-Zero said he was signed up for like 5 Mortal Kombat movies.
Holy shit!
Yeah, they apparently have a huge plan. So they hinted at him at Johnny Cage being in the next one, and I immediately texted Ron Valdeskald, who loves these games, or at least loves the lore of the games, because there's a lot of fun to it.
Yeah.
And I texted him my suggestion of who should play Johnny Cage. And I don't know if I told you, but Andy Samberg. If Andy Samberg were to get buff.
See, okay, I'm not really familiar with the character. So let me actually just look up a picture of the character Johnny Cage.
Yeah, Johnny Cage. And like when I looked it up, that was the first person I thought of was Andy Samberg, and I was like, kind of looks like Andy Samberg if Andy Samberg were to get ripped.
Yeah, but fuck, the guy, he has his own animated show on Netflix, like I think called Big Mouth. I'm not entirely sure that's what it's called, but he's another
Big
comedian.
Mouth Billy Bass.
I don't remember
the fish that hangs on the walls. Big Mouth Billy Bass.
I forgot that was his name, Billy Bass. Jesus. Okay, but anyway, I don't know. He definitely looks like a mixture between Andy Samberg and this other guy I'm trying to mention, and I can't think of it. We're so on point today. We're on point.
We're the best. Dude, we're great at this.
This is good podcasting.
This is why we got all the viewers, man. It's fucking beautiful shit. And so basically the whole movie comes down to our heroes, all these champions, 5 or 6 of them, however many, and Lord Raiden, who's there with awesome.
Many.
Yeah, and Lord Raiden has like awesome electrical powers, but he's not supposed to interfere until the very end of the movie. And so it's just like, okay, you know, he can't add his Thor-like godness to this, but all the Earth champions, they have to face off against Sub-Zero, who is just like boss tier. Like he's fucking awesome to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty
basically
fun. Some good scenes.
Right. See, that's my problem though. Is this is all an action movie. It's all about fighting, and so I went into it simply wanting good action. I didn't give a shit about the acting. I didn't give a shit about the story. You know, I figured it was going to be Mortal Kombat stupidity. As long as it was brutal, as long as there was good fatalities, I was happy.
Yeah.
And it did that. It delivered on everything I wanted, and it was just a stupid, fun action movie. And that's great. I still want to bitch about the fighting scenes, even though they were well choreographed, even though they looked great. They cut it like a Taken movie. There's so many edits.
Yeah,
holy fuck!
That.
They had such good coverage. Is what really pisses me off. Is that they show all these different viewpoints they had of each fight scene. Just let one of those be a long take. Yeah. Just make it a mobile, put it on a wire, put it on a dolly, whatever you have to do, make it mobile. Don't handheld and walk around, because I hate shaky cam action scenes. Falcon and Winter Soldier had some of those, and I was just like, stop it. I hate it. But that was my problem with this whole fight scene stuff, it was so constantly cut and edited that I was just like, I want to see the fight, and you're cutting it like 3 cuts per second. Like, stop it. This is bad.
For sure. You know what I was just imagining? I was just imagining showing one of the newer or more recent rather Bourne movies to people in like the 80s, and they'd be like, what the fuck is this?
But see, so Bourne is the one I think I give the exception to in terms of shaky cam action. He uses it to like enhance the scene. There's more tension to how he shoots the film.
I still don't know what's going on in the scene. So I have to disagree.
But yeah, with that, I mean, that's kind of just the synopsis of Mortal Kombat, is them finding they all like develop their own like specific weird superpower kind of thing. Arcana, thank you.
Greedy.
Yeah, and Cole Young's is like, he's supposed to be like the chosen one because he's the offspring. Of
it might
the
be spoilers if we give away what his Arcana is, because it's pretty late gang in the movie. It happens. It happens more than halfway through.
I'll give them the 5-second warning then, because I do want to talk about it. And I don't really want to put up a spoiler wall for Mortal Kombat. Sure. But he's the descendant of Scorpion, who is played by Hiroyuki Sanada, who I love. He is an amazing actor, and I think this movie uses very little of him, but I really enjoyed what presence he had. Yeah. He does. He is an amazing, and I love seeing him. I just wish they had used more of him because he's an amazing actor.
They do give Scorpion's full name. Scorpion is his name that he takes once he's been through hell, but his name is Hanzo Hasashi. He is a Japanese hero And yeah, the very beginning of the movie, you're like, oh man, is this actually going to be set in the past? I didn't watch the trailers, so I didn't know.
Neither did I.
And I knew that there was like modern characters in the game, like Jax and Sonya, but his family gets attacked by Baihan, who is Sub-Zero, and it's a great scene. That opening scene, yeah, before he's Sub-Zero. That opening scene is awesome. I really enjoyed that.
It honestly was probably the second most raddest scene in the movie.
Yeah.
With the finale just being rad just because it was a fun, silly fight scene. But
right.
That opening, I fucking loved it. It was immediately hooked.
I could have been happy if the whole movie was like that, dude. I think that would have been fucking great. But maybe that wouldn't have been Mortal Kombat, so.
Yeah, that's true. But it would have been a good choice in my opinion.
Yes.
But you're right. Instead, we jump to the future where everybody's searching for their arcana, and Cole Young, not the greatest fighter. People are trying to help him find his way. It's kind of like a Matrix situation where it's like Neo is like, I'm not sure if I'm the chosen one. It's like, you are the chosen one. We gotta make you fight so that you're better at this, you fucking pansy. And when he finds his arcana, and here's where you should skip 10 seconds if you don't want spoilers. It's just kind of like golden armor that just appears on him. He's just like, hallelujah.
Like, all right, but they do like kind of bring it into Scorpion's thing too with the thread. Like it threads itself onto him, and I thought the effect was really cool.
Oh, okay. I mean, it was kind of cool. It's just it looked so stupid, and I was like, that's it. That's all. I've been waiting the whole movie for that.
We had different levels of appreciation of the reveal then, because I thought it was kind of cool, like because at the very least it was mirroring the situation he was in, where his family was in danger and he protected them. So it makes sense. I feel like
that's fair. And then like Jax's is kind of like supposed to be this big overcoming obstacle moment where it's just like, look at him, he found the strength to do this. And yeah, all right, I'm okay with that. Like I didn't connect any of their arcana moments when they had those big moments. Actually, I did connect to Sonya Blades. I did like it when she got her ability, because she has to fight for her ability,
right?
Because she doesn't have it at the beginning.
She's not a chosen participant. I can't remember what they call them.
Dragon tattoo. She's not the girl with the dragon tattoo.
She doesn't have the mark. Yeah, she's not the girl with the dragon tattoo. Was that character's name Sonya?
I hope not. But she has to fight Kano or Kano, or I think it's Kano, right?
It's Kano.
He's like, Kano, thanks.
I think he's Australian or maybe a New Zealander.
Yeah, but he's like a chosen one that turns traitor just because he's he's that guy. He's like, fuck y'all. Yeah. I'm better than you.
He also killed someone to get the mark too. So he's got a cool laser eye, and that's about it. Yeah. Like he's honestly not that great of a fighter, but he's vicious. And then he's got a laser eye.
I think I remember playing as him too, just because of the laser eye.
Right, yeah.
But I don't really remember.
He reminded me of Cable from the X-Men, except for I don't think Cable shoots anything from his eye. I don't remember. He just has one eye that's always glowing.
Right. Yeah, that's just kind of Mortal Kombat though. It's just kind of, I'm ready to give closing statements if you're good.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I don't know what exactly to say about this movie except for that I really did enjoy it. And I do honestly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. It's very much a turn your brain off movie and just enjoy some fun action shit. And I'm actually really happy to hear that they plan on making more of them, because I do feel like the effects and the quality of storytelling could really work for a series like this. It kind of feels, I've only saw the first Underworld movie, but honestly, it kind of feels like that. I can just turn my brain off and enjoy this haunty movie.
It's competent stupidity.
Yes, competent stupidity. I really love that. It gets a face. Yeah, that's my favorite statement. I did enjoy it though. It's just it's not spectacular because it's not. No. You got to see this movie or you basically died inside culturally. Right. But it's fun.
Yeah, if you like the franchise, or if you like stupid turn your brain off action movies, I recommend it. I don't.
Yeah.
I had fun with it. It's Simon McCoy's directorial debut, so great job for him. It's he accomplished what he had to. He had a job ahead of him, which was deliver.
I honestly can't believe they gave a debut director this franchise movie. That's kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, I can, because it's a simple task. It's you have to please the franchise, which is make a dumb movie, and it's like, if you fuck up a dumb movie, like, fucking how? I mean, there's not much you have to do to please this fan base, and he succeeded. Like, I describe this kind of movie as it's a 2-star movie that does its job, so it's a 2.5-star film. Like, it gets 2.5 stars.
There you go.
It's I can't really recommend it. It's good bad. It's it is entertaining. You can have fun if it's what you want.
Right.
And if you're able to turn your brain off, then
100% what it's supposed to be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So for that reason, if that's what you're looking for, go for it.
Exactly. If this is precisely what you want to end the night, do it. Like, it will give you exactly the feels you want in that regard. That said, it's a fucking bad movie.
Let's move on to a movie that I think we both agree was maybe, that's
not worth your time.
That's for the end of the episode, I suppose.
I think it's fine to say up front that Chaos Walking is not worth your time, because it costs $20 fucking to rent it for 48 hours.
It's not
like, oh,
worth...
you can watch me as many times as you want in 48 hours. It's like, well, I didn't even want to watch you once after I finished you.
Well, yeah, you know what? Like, it was all right. I don't know what to say about it. I definitely was disappointed, but it wasn't.
Oh, man.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen in the world at the same time. Maybe I should synopsize it.
Go for it. If you can.
So, if I can, yeah. It shouldn't be all that hard. Honestly, I could probably do it in 2 sentences.
There's really not much to it.
Yeah, so...
Boy meets girl. Boy protects girl.
In the future, Mads Mikkelsen and a bunch of other people colonize this new planet. But on this planet, the men's thoughts are heard and seen aloud and in front of you.
Oh, it's so scary.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I would appreciate being in a world like that.
I wouldn't either, but it's just like the way this movie just pulls it off is just like, come the fuck on. Like, there's more, there has to be more to explore than this.
Yeah, I wish they did more with the noise too. But anyhow, there's something going on that's weird, that's very predictable, but I'll let you find it out, I guess. I don't know. And more settlers are coming, even though they've lost contact with the original settlers. And Daisey Ridley is among them. Her character is Viola. And she crashes, and the rest of them die. Not the rest of the settlers. There's a big ship out there. She was a scout. Mads starts hunting her down, but Todd, played by Tom Holland, who is our hero and protagonist, I don't know if hero is the right term, but he's
or protagonist.
Well, he's definitely the main focus of the show. He's supposed to.
He's gotta be a man.
He's gotta be a man. That is what he thinks. That is what he thinks. Anyhow,
the messages of this film.
Yeah, he does help Daisey Ridley's character navigate this new world to get away from Mayor Prentice, who is played by Mikkelsen. Yeah. Also, Nick Jonas is in this movie. He plays Davy Prentice Jr.
Right, and so is David Oyelowo. He plays the priest.
That's right,
or whatever. I can't remember if they call him the priest, but So here's my problem with this entire movie.
Okay.
First off, it's based off of a trilogy of novels, and this is just the first one by Patrick Ness. It's based off the novel The Knife of Never Letting Go. So I'm not interested in reading
Never Letting Go.
Yeah, and he also helped co-write the script, or maybe Christopher Ford wrote a script based off of notes that Patrick Ness had. Yeah, I'm not down. You know, I'm just like couldn't like this. I get 3/4 into it when I realize, oh, we're not on Earth. So, as you mentioned, there's like a title card or something at the beginning that says they're not on Earth. They're on some outer world or whatever.
They just call it New World.
New World, yeah, and I totally just like blinked on that. I did not see it or did not understand what it was trying to tell me. And so I spent the entire movie thinking something happened to Earth, and that was going to be part of the plot or something. Maybe they would bring this all in and make sense of it. And it's just, no, they're on a completely different planet, but they don't explore this new world fucking at all.
No.
It looks the exact same as Earth. Except there's aliens around. I guess we see the aliens like twice, but who cares about them? They're not. They don't do part of the
anything
story.
with the aliens. They don't do jack diddly squat. It's like the only way that they use them is for blaming the mystery on them. Mm-hmm. But it's just so, that plot point is just so fucking obvious to me that it was not any fun.
Right, exactly. It was so clearly obvious that they weren't the ones behind the incident that is at central focus to this story. And another thing is, I do want to point out, we are being the ignorant assholes that human beings normally are.
Yeah, because that's what we are. We're human beings.
Yeah, exactly. We are. And we just called them aliens. That was their home planet. They are the native species on that planet.
Exactly, that's true.
The humans were the aliens. So, like, we just come in there and we're all just attacking them. The women are all dead because, fuck, like, I guess. Yeah. I don't want to spoil shit there, but actually, I do want to. I mean, I don't recommend going to see it. So, like,
I know. I agree that I don't recommend that, but some people might have been really excited about this. Maybe they read the book. Maybe it is a good book, and you know, they're still gonna go and see it. But I guess if they have read the book, then they know what happens. So I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't.
It's not worth spoiling, I guess.
It isn't worth spoiling because it's so obvious. It really is.
And then another thing I really hate is they don't do much with the, what is it called? The voice? The noise. The noise. Yeah, they don't do much with that. There's so many things you can do with the noise, where it's just like you can use it to your advantage.
They give really good examples. They give really good examples, but they do not use it very effectively, except for one time. But it's another thing where, like, you knew that they were doing, so the reveal was not very effective.
And, like, so I mentioned earlier, one of the things that really irritated me was that he's constantly Tom Holland's character, Todd, or is it Tom?
Todd. It's Todd.
His character's name is Todd. Okay. Todd is, like, constantly trying to, like, calm his noise. And, like, when he does that, he, like, comes into himself and he's just like, be a man, gotta be a man. And they're like, don't cry. You know, it's like, it'd be wrong to cry. Right. And so it's irritating from a standpoint where it's just like, come on. You know, this is the 21st century. We don't need this fucking message being broadcast that, you know, men don't cry. But then at the same time, I get that the women have all been killed. So it's like, if they had played up more that not being manly is a trait of dying, then that would have been more interesting. It would have made more sense that he was saying that kind of stuff. But since they didn't explore it whatsoever, it just becomes this stupid sexist message.
Right. Like, you get a little taste of the culture of Prentice Town, but I think they needed to go a little bit more into it and counter it with the other culture that's involved in this story a little bit stronger to really feel like, oh, okay, so he's basically brainwashed. That's why he keeps on saying this, which we all know at least are trending towards ridding ourselves of that culturally, that ideal that a man has to be this such and such tough thing. And, you know, it's definitely not healthy, but it just, like you said, they don't do it enough. They do him saying be a man enough for you to get to point that that's what he thinks, but they don't do anything with it to make us as a modern audience be like, okay, that was pretty smart. There's nothing there to make it feel other than what we see.
Right. And that is another part, like, that is the sole function of the movie. That's, like, why the incident happened. So there's so much there that they could have played off of that they really just didn't bother exploring. Or they did explore, but it was very mediocre. And it makes it a very boring fucking movie to watch.
Definitely.
And another problem I had with The Noise is they all have lived with this kid, with Tom Holland's character, for however many years old he is. Like, I don't know how old his character is, 20 or whatever.
I think he's supposed to be 18.
Okay. And yeah, so for 18 years, their noise, their mental images, their thoughts are all broadcast around them. And they hid from him the truth of the crisis? Every single adult in this town?
Right. I feel like, I don't know. I mean, little kids sometimes aren't very observant. Oh, also, I think they said it didn't affect the children. So I think you kind of grow up into it once you get puberty. I think that was part of the story. But
like, he would still be hearing.
See it. Yeah, exactly. So I think, like, they were trying to play with that. Once again, it needed more exploration. I think what they're trying to express is that because he is younger, he is in less control, and these adult men with fully functioning brains, they can control their thoughts a little bit better.
But that's such horseshit, though.
It
because,
is.
Like, I know adult men. I am an adult male myself, and, like, we do not have full control of our brains. I don't give a fuck who you are. Unless you're, like, a spy for the KGB, like...
But, you know, I bet we would be a little bit better at it if our thoughts were right in front of our face all the time.
That's fair. That's a good assessment. But I don't know. I feel like there would still be a moment where he would, like, it'd be late at night. He'd be in his bed, and he's like, I have to go piss real fast. So he gets out of bed, and he goes outside, and his dad is having a dream. And in that dream is the incident. And he sees the incident in his dad's dream, and he's just like, oh, fuck. And he's like, he understands everything then.
Right.
No, somehow all of the adults in this movie are able to keep from this 20-year-old what happened. Or maybe not all of the adults know. I can't remember. I really wasn't paying attention somewhere along the line with this film. I also called the priest wrong. I thought they were going to do something with David Oyelowo's character.
They didn't really do anything with that.
I thought he was going to be like...
There was a cool chase scene, but that was about it.
Yeah, and that's when I realized I was wrong about the character, because I thought they were going to make him like this silent hero. Like, he has done such a good job at protecting his mind that, like, you know, he would... Because whenever he comes up to you, it's just biblical speak. You know, it's just constant parade of, you know, fire and brimstone, biblical oratory. And so it's just like, I kind of expected that that's how he had blocked his mind from being read or whatever. And I was like, oh, they're going to do something cool with him. No, he's just a wild, crazy madman villain who kills a dog and forces, like, 2 other horses to be killed. Like, there's a lot of animal violence in this movie, and it really pissed me off. It really pissed me off.
Yeah, they had to kill his horse almost right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was sad.
And then the dog gets drowned.
Oh, and then he also, like, wrestles that giant octopus monster or that squid monster, whatever.
What?
And you don't remember that? Tom Holland, that is. Tom Holland's character. He kills a squid monster. I'm not joking. This is legit in the movie. He kills a squid monster and cooks it for him and Daisey Ridley's character. And then he's thinking to himself, is it the green scales or the blue scales that are poisonous? Oh, well. And then he's like, it's good. It was like one of the few bits that I actually laughed at in the movie.
Is him taking on that squid monster filmed from the point of Daisey Ridley, like, standing on the shoreline watching?
Yeah.
It's, like, very poorly shot. Like, that's why I didn't realize what was happening in that scene. I thought he was just, like, taking a bath, and that she was just, like, awkwardly watching him. So I was wrong.
He fought a squid monster. It was probably one of the coolest things his character does in the movie.
Oh, and also, just because it is very the movie is very focused on male toxicity. Yeah. So often in this movie is Tom Holland thinking naughty thoughts about Daisy, where he's just like, oh, yes. Maybe she'll kiss me, and he actually plays out a romantic scene in his head, and it's just
right.
What I thought was so funny was the movie starts, and for like the first 15 minutes or whatever, until Tom Holland sees a girl, he is like so far up the mayor's ass, the mayor of Prentice Town or whatever it's called.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's Mayor Prentice. He's Mayor Dave Prentice, and it's Prentice Town.
Right. Yeah, and Nick Jonas is his son. And
yeah.
And Tom Holland is like super Tom Holland is super in love with the mayor until he sees a girl's face. Once he sees a girl's face, and he's like, Dad knows best. Gotta hide the girl from the mayor. And it's just like, it was such a quick turnaround.
Well, I think like I think there's this scene where he's overhearing their conversation, and the mayor's conversation with some other men about keeping and tracking down the girl or whatever, and he's like, oh fuck, they want to hurt her. This guy's not the guy who I think he is. But you're right, he does want him to be his daddy secretly, even though he has two daddies.
A little bit.
I did feel bad about his one daddy getting killed.
Yeah, he doesn't really care what happens to them, though.
He does not, like, because he's adopted.
But once he sees girl.
Yeah, once he sees girl, he doesn't care. You're right.
He's just like, this is my world. I will now protect this lady, and like she will not come to harm.
Like you said, he has naughty thoughts every once in a while, and I like when I was watching it first, my wife says, "Oh God, Tom, what the hell?" And I'm like, well, I mean, it is he's like, he just kind of went to bed and didn't know that today he was gonna wake up and realize he was a heterosexual. Like, you know,
that's
it is
fair.
the first woman he has seen since he hit puberty. So
right.
I mean, I think we gotta give him the benefit of the doubt a little bit, and he always apologizes for it. But it does kind of leave the message that guys can't help it a little bit. That's not okay. Like that's not the message we need to send people.
Because it's like I have bad thoughts every now and then. You know,
and
it's
then
just
you're
like
oh,
going
geez.
about the day. You can help it. You don't have to be a sleazebag all the fucking time. No. And not to say that his character was a sleazebag, because as you said, he does apologize for it. He genuinely doesn't want to cast that image at all times. You know, he wants to be
it's just
helpful.
His thoughts are on blast.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do have a thought about somebody that you're completely platonic with, and then you're like, I want to keep the relationship the way it is. I'm not going to mention that to anybody.
You're just like, my brain's weird.
My brain's weird.
It's just like, why'd you think that? Like,
man, I don't know what else to say about this movie, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I fucking hate it. My closing statement is, I paid $20 for a turd sandwich, 1.5 stars.
That's totally fair.
Do not recommend.
I don't recommend it either. I don't know that means it's an incompetent movie. It just could have been way better. I definitely would have been. I mean, I am disappointed because I spent money on it, and it was not very good. And the real problem is it had too much potential. Like the concept, it's a very good concept. Even the storyline's pretty good. It's just the way it's executed is not. It's not. It's not good.
There's just no heart in it. Yeah. No attachment from the creators.
I guess I give it a half a face, and that's based off of personal opinion, because it's not an unwatchable movie. It's just I wanted more from it, and it could have been more. It had all the elements to be more, and it wasn't.
It's unwatchable if your wallet's light and you don't want to spend $20.
Yeah, wait for it to come out on a streaming service, because it will.
Yeah, somebody will have to dump it off somewhere and just be like, please make some money somewhere else.
Yeah. So yeah,
not...
don't waste your money. I guess that's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat surprisingly wins.
I was not. It's definitely the opposite of what I expected. I'll have to be honest.
Yeah.
Because video game movies don't have a good track record, but it pulled it off, I think.
Yeah, I think we both had the same watching experience where we watched Mortal Kombat first and like walked out thinking, yeah, that was what I expected. I bet if Chaos Walking even does like an ounce of movie, then I'm okay. It'll win. And surprisingly, Chaos Walking did not do an ounce of movie whatsoever. Probably just a teaspoon of movie. And it does not win. I was so shocked. It was so bad.
It was not great. Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's the end of the show. We did it. We did it again. Every time we do it, I am surprised, to be frank.
It really is an accomplishment. It makes me feel like Captain America a little bit. I pull it off.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I'm super strong. Yeah, I pulled off this podcast. I'm just like, yeah.
I feel like more like the Blob from the X-Men, but
that's just because you look like the Blob.
That is only because I look like him. Well, I mean, we share particular elements. I choose the way I look. So
you look more like the Blob from like the classic horror movie, The Blob, like just very faceless.
That's my cousin. We call him Bill.
Oh, he has a name. Like,
yeah,
I feel bad. I've always called him the Blob.
Well, I mean, he doesn't have a very good PR agent. So
no. Well, the government locked him away real fast, I bet.
Yeah, they did. They're like, man, you are much more friendly than Bill. That the government talking to me, that is. Well, I mean, we are real people. Real people. Safe travels and good nights. Green and Faceless on the Couch is a proud production of Fiction Works 19. If you like the show, please show your support by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. Like, follow, subscribe, wherever you might listen. We also now have a Patreon account. If you feel so inclined to support us in a financial manner, please become a patron by visiting patreon.com/greenandfaceless. You can also find more information about us on our Facebook account or on the FictionWorks 19 Instagram account. Thank you so much for listening.